following is a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.
Thank you, Tally Olson. I am back, and you are comfortably zoned with me, the Zig Zag Man, in Alameda, California, right across the bay from San Francisco, across the moat from Oakland, in the, well, arguably the best state in the world. My guests will argue Florida, New York, New Jersey. I say, I'm not going to really argue over this. You want to argue? Marty Rose, start the argument.
No, I'm not going to argue, Ralph. No. I mean, Florida has its ups and Florida has its downs, but I think, California has everything. I mean, from top to bottom, it's got everything or every kind of climate that you would actually want. So I might have to agree with you.
Okay. How about Robert Cole?
Well, there are earthquakes. Okay, for one thing, of course, we have hurricanes. Other than that,
you agree with Marty Rose. Okay, California it is.
California, here we come.
Okay, and if you don't like the voting, Trump can have it turned around. Florida, he'll go Florida. Everybody voted for Florida, Trump would tell you. Everybody on the show said Florida. Okay. So, all right. Now, I'll give you the question I ask all the guests of late. Anybody comes on, what do you think, Marty Rose, the end game is going to be with Trump? Is he going to leave quietly? Is he going to make a big stink?
Well, he's already made a big stink, but he has said that once the electors vote, then he will abide by whatever the electors do.
Okay.
So,
can you trust him on that from your gut?
I think so, because if he makes a big stink about it after the electors agree with the vote, then I think his fellow Republicans will just cream him one way or the other, and he'll never have another say in the Republican Party, in my opinion.
Do they have the guts to cream him when he raises money like nobody's business? He controls that base of his. And it's just rhetorical. It's not an argument. Let me ask Robert Cole that question.
Okay, all I know is I'm the president. You can't talk to the president like that. I'm the president.
Yeah. That was his press conference last night.
Yes, it was. I was like...
To a legitimate newsman from Reuters, he says, "You're a lightweight." As if to say, I'm not a fat fuck, am I?
Yeah, that was kind of amazing. Well, like Marty said, I mean, what's he going to do? He can't stay there. Okay, no, you can't trust what he says. Okay, he's never, ever going to say he lost. Don't forget, that's the way he was brought up. He was brought up, okay, to never say you were sorry, never say you lost, never show any apathy, okay, and that's what he is. So he's never going to say he lost.
Okay.
But is he going to leave? He's going to have to leave. I mean, as of the date that, Biden gets sworn in, he's then trespassing. They can have him thrown out. So I don't think he wants to do that.
Well, then you have the little issue of the New York City courts, which is a state matter and can't be pardoned. You can't pardon yourself. That's another thing he talks about doing.
But what's going to happen with the state courts? Can he leave the White House? Technically, they can indict him the first day he's out of the White House.
Oh yeah, they could be handing him a subpoena, okay, as he walks out of the White House.
Oh, that would be something else. That would be something else. Or,
I would pay to see that, actually.
Yeah. Yes, that on HBO.
Yeah.
That would be the best HBO special they ever had. It would rival the O.J. Chase. Well, that was a weird day. That was. It's always been weird in this country. We grew up. The three of us are exactly the same age, and we grew up when they had nuclear weapons pointed at us from frickin' Cuba. You can go to Cuba in a half an hour. That was scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was.
No question.
Yeah. So, but this is the most scary time of our lives. And
well, I was talking to somebody the other day. Okay, this is our parents' World War II and our grandparents' World War I. Okay, this moment for us.
Yeah.
It's very sad what's going on now, and still people defy the logic and the medical opinions. Still, I just don't get it.
Hey, they closed the schools in New York, which is an option, but they keep the bars open.
Well,
yes, yeah, that was not a smart move.
No. Just that makes so little sense that you got to say there's nothing going to cure us. The Supreme Court comes down over the weekend and says you can gather at a church no matter if there's a pandemic or not.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the suit from the Hasidic Jews in New York City. And the brand new Supreme Court justice is the one that tipped that.
Right. A Trumpite. So God forbid, the whatever he has up his sleeve to protest the election ever gets to the Supreme Court.
No, I disagree with that, Ralph. Those justices in the Supreme Court are going to put their reputations on the line for some fugazi thing that he's doing. Okay, the thing with the Hasidic Jews and the banning, that's different. That's a constitutional thing. Okay, and it's how you see it in the Constitution. It can be seen on either side. There are no jurors are going to, do something fugazi. The judge in Pennsylvania, the federal judge appointed by Trump, is the one that threw that out of court and threw his attorneys out of court and just tore them up over, what they try to do. So, when it comes to actual, comes down to it, these guys already have their jobs. They're not going to put their reputations on the line for him. Okay, he thinks that they're employees of his, just like when he had his businesses, but they're not.
Right. Well, he thinks that Barr is his personal attorney. And we haven't heard from that guy in about a month since there was a party and a whole bunch of people got COVID. And so God knows what he has up his sleeve or what they have up his sleeve. But let's change the subject a little bit because this is becoming an expectorant for people listening. And I can't blame it. Every day we get up with this uncertainty. Is democracy on the line? Is it that fragile a thing that we could come this close to losing it? And
even one of the Republican senators, Ralph, said, "Is this the United States or is this a banana republic?" You know,
right? That's one of the four Republican senators that has stood up, and that they all haven't in unison at this point.
Right,
is very sad.
It is.
The divide between Republicans when we grew up and Democrats was non-existent. Keating, all these guys were just middle of the road. Rockefeller, moderate Republican. This guy was moderate. That guy was moderate. You couldn't tell the difference between Eisenhower and who did he run against? The guy with the bad shoes.
Stevenson.
Stevenson. It wasn't. People didn't go nuts if Ike won, and they wouldn't have gone nuts if Stevenson won.
Right.
And they won. And 3/4 of the Republicans that claim that they think that Biden fixed the election.
They're just completely snowed under by Trump. I mean, really, they cannot think for themselves. Complete idiots, all of them.
Right,
and like you've been calling them, cull the herd. You know. As they all go down for being idiots. So.
Right. And I had a little thing on Facebook, I must say it was mildly amusing today, that at the end of the culling of the herd, and the stupid ones will go first, the average IQ in this country will go up by 10 points.
I saw that.
And Matthew DeBias said, no, more.
Oh, God.
It's all funny until you lose your friend or neighbor or relative.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's you laugh till you cry, you know. Anyway, what isn't cry matter, especially these early days of the honeymoon between Mr. Cohen, the new owner of the Mets. First thing that he did of significance was he's going to stick behind Rojas. Is that? I'll ask you both. Is that a good idea? Starting with Robert.
Initially, I did not. Okay, I was, kind of on the side of, let's clean house. But on the other hand, Rojas has been with the organization a long time. He didn't really have a chance to show what he could do last year. I mean, he didn't even know at the beginning of the real spring training that he was going to be the manager. And then all that hullabaloo went down about, with Beltran.
Right.
Then he gets interrupted, and then you have a 60-game season, and Cespedes opts out, and Stroman decides not to play. So, yeah, I say give him a chance. He knows the young players. Give him a chance with Sandy Alderson and the new GM and the new ownership. Let's see what he can do.
Okay, Marty.
Yeah, I think he deserves a chance at a full season. I didn't particularly care for a lot of the moves he made, but then again, he didn't have everybody healthy, and it was just a very, very weird season. And look, Sandy Alderson said that he likes him both as a strategist and a person. So I think he deserves to get a full season, and that's something we still don't even know about at this point. Will it be a full season? Will we have a regular spring training? A lot of it depends on the vaccine, of course, and there's a lot of stuff that remains to be seen.
A lot of stuff that remains to be seen about the vaccine.
Yeah.
And will people take it? People don't even wear freaking masks. You expect these? Oh no, I don't. I'll get it, but I'm an American. But more importantly than that, it seems, at least to us, will there be a DH?
Yeah, when the hell are they going to decide on that? It's getting awfully late.
Well, December 7th through 10th is the winter meetings.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
And I would guess that's when that will be finalized and discussed. They've been talking a 120 to 140 game season. I don't even think they have any intention of doing 160 games this year.
Probably not.
Now, that gives them some gap time. So if they have to reschedule games and stuff like that. So, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Did they discuss anything about a starting date at all? Like nothing like May 1st or something. Nothing yet.
I've not heard that yet. Again, with the winter meetings coming up, I assume a lot of that will be discussed, as well as the 120 to 140 game season. How the salaries are going to be, divvied up and taken care of. So that's going to be, another question.
Hey, I have one question about that. Can a cardboard cutout play out as option?
Well, it all depends on who your agent is.
Okay. Well, it might be what's his name, Brody.
Yeah, he's looking for a job. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. He can he get a legal thing where all the cardboard is his responsibility. Anyway, my next gripe or big question is, and this is just my opinion, I'll give it first. I don't think under any circumstances you trade McNeil. I think you put him at second and leave him there. He can play the other positions just barely, especially left, but he's a good second baseman, and we got a big break we saved a lot of money, $24 million. Don't blow it. You got 3 shortstops. You don't need Lindor. You can move Rosario to second or to short, to center, and that would make it nice and simple. And with these unknown times, you're not committing yourselves to any big contracts. The only thing they need to do, and that's based on the DH, is you can't keep both Smith and Alonso. It just doesn't make sense. Smith has too much potential, and they're pretty much locked into Alonso. But that's my opinion. Keep McNeil, keep him at second. Questions about that? Anything you disagree with? That's what we're about.
Well, I mean, I agree with you that he should play at second and nowhere else. Absolutely, it's definitely his best position. He wasn't that good at third. He wasn't that good in left. So that part of it, I agree with. But they're still talking about bringing in free agents. I think Cohen is just can't wait to open the checkbook. They're mentioning like everybody. So they're mentioning Bauer, Springer, Lindor, LeMahieu, Rio, everybody. But obviously they can't do that. But yeah, no, they definitely got to believe McNeil at second. I think that they should get a third baseman. That's what I think. If LeMahieu would come to Queens, I think they should go for him to play third base. I don't think J.D. Davis is that great of a player. I don't think he's that great of a third baseman, and he's not going to play anywhere else either. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. Robert.
Yeah, I believe McNeil should be kept at second base. Lindor would have to be traded for. Okay, he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I don't want to give up anything for him. I mean, you can always sign him next year if that's the way you feel. You have Jimenez, and you have Rosario. I mean, right now you could play McNeil at second, Rosario at short, and Jimenez at third. Jimenez showed he could play third. Okay, it's more a matter of will he be able to do the hitting, and he did hit 266 last year after never playing above Double-A, so I wouldn't have a problem doing that. Sign a couple of free agents. Yes, I think Real Muto and Bauer would be 1-2 in either way, and then Springer is third. But, I wouldn't make a trade for somebody who you might only have for 1 year.
Right.
Yeah. Good. Hey, guys, this was a terrific show.
Okay. All right. Enjoyed.
Well, we're a little early. We got. I just looked down.
It's only 20 minutes.
Yeah. Let's talk. How about you guys pick a topic to talk about? What's on your mind? Start with you, Marty.
Well, I mean, they just started to discuss signing general manager. Now, Sandy said they interviewed 6 people already. The only names that I've seen thrown around are Chris Young, who is the MLB senior VP. I think the position Joe Torre used to have. Former pitcher, this guy. Another guy, I think Michael Hill from Miami. And those are the only 2 names that came out. Who else was mentioned? One of your Rays guys, Robert. Yes. Bobby Heck.
Right.
Was mentioned, but I don't think they talked to him yet. So.
Yeah.
One of the other.
Sorry.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Okay, and one of the other Rays guys has also been mentioned somewhat. So, we'll have to see.
We're talking about Stevie throwing around a bunch of bucks. Could he change Epstein's mind?
Well, they could be just. Somebody said maybe they're just waiting for him. Give him. He wants to take a year off. Let him take a year off, and then throw the bucks at him. If they need another guy.
Yeah. Well, also, I believe that they would have to pay compensation to the Cubs during this first year. Okay, Epstein's a free and clear, I think, after this season. But for somebody to sign him this year, they would have to negotiate with Cubs.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point.
Everything seems to fall into place. Theo wants to take a year off. Sandy said, well, they're going to put off naming that position for now and get a GM instead. So that may already be in the works, as far as we know.
Right. Could be. What about catcher? I mean, I wouldn't sign Molina at all. I mean, we saw enough of an old, slow guy last year. So, I'd keep away from him. But, I haven't heard any talk about catcher at all. Not even any names brought up. They're not going to sign Real Muto, I don't think. He said he didn't want to come here in the first place. So I don't know what's available besides that.
Well, that guy McCann is a excellent catcher and a decent hitter, and he's been on an all-star team a couple of times. Played for the Tigers and for the White Sox. So he's supposed to be somebody that they have their eyes on.
Oh, good.
You scared me. I thought you were talking about the McCann that used to play for the Braves for a second.
No, I think he retired.
I know, but
he's almost as old as you are, Ralph.
Well, boy, and I'm almost as old as you are. See how things go? It's not how long you live.
I'm the youngster.
Not how. Oh, that's true, and I'm the oldster. That's right. Well, at least this is great. I went 28 minutes without thinking about my impending mortality, which is the longest I've gone in my whole life. Real funny. Ha ha ha. He'll be dead soon. Ha ha ha. And this will be a cute tape once he's dead. Ha ha ha. Thinking about mortality. We could whistle at graveyards all we want.
Yeah.
So. All right, Robert, it's your turn to talk about what you want. What in the baseball world did you make note of that you're interested in?
Well, what's interesting, as far as talking about acquisitions for the Mets, okay, Blake Snell is on the market. The Rays have made that quite clear to other teams that he's available. The Yankees actually have been engaged in getting him, and I would think the Mets might want to be engaged as well, although the Yankees probably have more young talent to offer than the Mets do. But
well, Robert, you're closer to the Rays situation than I am, for sure. Why is it that a team that comes this close last year and really has the makings, always has, is looking to deal their best pitcher?
That's the Rays way, okay? Because he's a couple of years away from a big payday. Okay, they trade him now, just like they did with Chris Archer, and that's what they're looking. They're looking for a Chris Archer kind of deal, and they hit it big with the Chris Archer deal. So that's kind of what they're looking for. The Yankees supposedly are offering Devi Garcia, that guy Schmidt. They're two pitchers that are major league ready. Luke Voigt and that outfielder whose name skips my memory right now, but that's supposedly who they're offering right now. So that's just the Rays way. The Rays, when the new ownership took over for the Rays way back when, okay, they said that their game plan from day one, that every deal that they made is one eye on today and one eye on tomorrow. And that's the way they've always done things. So they'd rather trade somebody, like Grant Trickey used to say, I'd rather trade them 1 year early than 1 year late. And that's their philosophy. They let Charlie Morton walk as well.
Okay, that answers that. Marty, anything in the baseball world that either bugs you or pleases you?
I don't know, Ralph. I just I really would like to see the NL keep the DH. I mean, the two leagues got to start playing under the same rules. It really is not fair to the American League, pitchers when they have to hit in a World Series or interleague game. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't. By now, how many years is it already? 40 years? 50? It's a long time they've been doing this, and it should stop. It really should. And they have a perfect chance to do it now when they have a sort of an excuse, as they did this past year.
Yeah. Anyway, it makes good history for Comfortably Zoned. We had Larry Gowell, who was the last pitcher to bat, and Ron Blumberg, who was the first DH. We had him as a guest. Had them both. Gowell passed away very recently, and he gave me some terrific interviews with his grandson, who is a pitching prospect. I can't think of his name offhand, but it's very, very sad that he didn't live to see his grandson reach the majors. He's one of these guys who's rated very highly, and so rest in peace, Larry Gowell. That was the last pitcher to bat, and in those days, that was in the 70s, 73, 74, somewhere around there. See, you're absolutely right. It's been long enough. But I, as a traditionalist, I still say you should take the field and show them, let your defense speak too. That, but I'm an old guy, so what do I know?
So are we all.
So we all. So the goal is to stay alive till next show. Nice and simple.
That's good. I'll go along with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Be well, guys. This is terrific.
You too. Be safe.
And be safe, both Nancy and Peg. To you as well.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. Marty Rose, Robert Cole, Ralph Tycho, the weak link of it all. Adios.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
The proceeding has been a Comfortably Zoned network production. You are advised to keep your dreams wet, your humor dry, your children and grandchildren out of military recruiting offices and off the laps of clerics who wear dresses. Thank you for listening, everyone. Happy trails.